All right, so we have three terms here. And how are we going to factor? Well, the first step on every factoring problem, no matter how many terms, one term, two term, three term, whatever, is, well, there's no such thing as a one-term factoring. But anyway, with two terms or three terms or four terms, first step is always to ask, is there anything in common? Is there anything in common? And in this case, it's a yes, because notice they're all divisible by 5, aren't they? That would be 1. That would be, what's that, 24? Use your calculator. And that would be some big number. I don't know. Let me see. 144, I think. Yeah. Okay. So, so the answer is yes. It's 5. The 5 goes in all of them, but not just 5. W, right? They notice they all have a W. You got to take the lowest one, so just a plain W, 5W. And so what do? You put the 5W in the front, and you put one big parenthesis, 3 terms on the inside with the pluses in between, and then put in the parentheses, whatever would multiply correctly. So I'm going to say, okay, I got it. So I'm going to put the 5W in the front, one big parenthesis, and then the 3 terms on the inside with pluses. Excuse me, pluses in between, and then whatever multiplies correctly. So 5W times what will go back to 5W cubed? Well, W squared, because there's an invisible 1 power here. Remember, powers add. And then 5W times what will go back to 120. Well, we already know the number is 24. 5 times 24. And then we need a W, because W to the 1 and W to the 1, right? 5W times 24W. 5 times 24 is the 120, and the 1 powers add them, W squared. And then for the third one, 5W times what? So it'll be 144. We already know the number right there. And that's it, no W, because 5W times 144, 5 times 144 is 720, and then the W on the back, which we got from there. So that's step 1. And then step 2, you leave the 5W in the front and you do the 2 parentheses. So we're going to leave the 5W in the front and we're going to break into 2 parentheses. Okay, now how so? Well, in such a fashion that we say, okay, what multiplies, adds, multiplies, right? That's what we always do for 3 terms, multiply, add, multiply, right? We say, okay, what in this first spot here, what times what makes W squared? Well, that's easy. That's just W times W. And then in the last spot, what times what makes 144? Well, if you're not sure, try different numbers in your calculator. You'll find 12 times 12 makes 144. And now we have to check to make sure this is actually correct. Well, and by check, I mean, let's check the parentheses. So I'm going to take this W and go boom and boom. What do we got? W squared, 12W, then boom, boom. 12W and 144. No pluses or minuses yet. We got to first see if everything's right. So do you see what I'm doing there? I took this W to both these guys, right? W went boom, boom, and that's W squared 12W. He's done. And then this 12 went to both, right? First to both, second to both, just checking the parentheses. That'll be 12W and 144. Now, what signs do we need in order to make the middle correct? We need to go back to 24W. Well, both plus. Huh? That'll be plus 24W. And so both plus here. And plus 12 times plus 12 will be plus 144. So it's check, it's right, it goes back. And so that's our answer. That means we have got it. We are done. Let me come up here and write it in. So the answer is this right here. It's 5W. Let me get this out of the way. W plus 12. W plus 12. Or notice that's the same thing twice, right? So you can say it that way. You could just say 5W, W plus 12 squared, because there's 2 of them. Either way, the computer will take it either way. You can type it in as 5W with 2W plus 12s in parentheses, or 5W, W plus 12 squared. Either way. So how did we do that? We first took out what was in common, 5W, and did the one big parenthesis that would multiply to go back. And then we did the multiply, add, multiply. Right here, W's in the front, 12's in the back to make 144. And we checked it to make sure the middle was right. And it needs to be plus 12 to make plus 24W in the middle. Check, it's right. So there we go.